clean up,
Council's here
double
on
check.
Monday.
Yeah, they're,
Oh, they're messy.
Recording it.
You're right.
Call to order and announce a quorum, Town of Trophy Club Economic Development Corporation meeting. It is 6 PM. Any public comments?
no ma'am.
Regular items number 1, consider approval of the May 20th and July 1st, 2026 EDC meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Passed. Item 2, discuss the Thrive Business Grant Program.
All right, well, good evening, EDC Board. This evening, we're just going to do an overview of the Thrive Business Grant to date, so that we have this information for later on in the meeting. So cycle 3, we've had 8 applications. 6 of them are complete. You've reviewed those. 2 of them, we've sent emails, and they have not gotten back to me to complete their application. And so those 2 are incomplete. This evening, if you would like me to continue to reach out to them, I can definitely do that. We did extend the days for cycle 3 up until August 14th, so that will be this Friday. We have not received any new applications in the time frame that we extended. So we will just be seeing the 8 applications unless somebody comes in and presents an application or sends one in by Friday. So we have about $198,000 left remaining. If we had all 8 of them complete, that would bring our total to the $70,000. If you decide this evening that you would like to do the 6, then we have about 105. Now, we do have a sunset date of 2028. So we could probably go one more year on the Thrive. If that is something that you would like to do, we'll bring it up after the cycle 3 is complete. But this evening, we'll be going over those applications, and you'll have an opportunity to review them, approve them, deny them, or I'll reach back out for more information. Other than that, do you have any questions? Nope. Okay.
Item number 3, discuss a program funded through the Economic Development Corporation as a business retention and local spending initiative.
All right, good evening again. So I was tasked with getting some information on incentive programs that other cities have created that have been successful. I've put together a list of them, what the program type was, what they did, and kind of what their ROI was on the program itself. A lot of these are open rewards, retail rewards, cashback rewards, gift card rewards, bingos, passports. So they really did involve the community in some type of a program that was interactive. Although a lot of these did take up a lot of administrative time. So when we're looking at these initiatives and going through them, just understand that with some of these, it is going to take some administrative time to do, similar to what the Thrive Business Grant does. So when you're looking at that, let's see how we can work together to, if you want to move forward, to find something that has a less impact on administrative. And like I've stated before, council is very focused on the small area plan. And so if we do want to bring an initiative to them, I would suggest that we might bring it to them in a work session and have the EDC come and talk to them, or let's do something that can involve them in your request for a new program. Before we approve something. This will just kind of at least introduce it to the council that this is what you're interested in, than just springing it on them as a, we recommend this. I think it would be a great discussion between EDC and the council. So with that, I'm going to go through these programs. We have Seguin. They did the receipt plus plus cashback app. So their success model looked at 129 restaurants who enrolled. It was free to the business, and it was EDC funded. They got 5% cash back through an open rewards app. So when they uploaded their receipt, that reward would give them a 5% cash back, and that was funded through the EDC. That is the same thing that Chibolo, I think that's right, did as well. They did the open rewards for a holiday program, and they also did the 5% cash back. This was a repeat and returning holiday program that they've been doing continuously, so it's been very successful for them. Keller also did a cashback app through Open Rewards. It was citywide. It looked at restaurants and retail rewards, and it was a 10%. This was a little bit more aggressive reward rate than the other two cities, but it was a short-term adoption. It was a short-term program for them. Watauga did do the Open Rewards as well, and it was for a Shop Dine Local initiative that they had. It is a newer program for them, and they did look at other cities as benchmarks, and this is a pretty good benchmark, Watauga would be, for the size of what Trophy Club is. East Adeline did a cashback as well. Colleyville is a little bit different. They've been doing gift card rewards and business bingo rewards for several years now. It is very successful for them. And that is funded through the EDC. They give out $35 household gift cards that are redeemable at local restaurants and retailers within the city, and that is it's reimbursed by the city. So when the retailer gives it out, the city reimburses the business. Texas City did a bingo, so that is more of an interactive initiative with receipts and social media rows. Grand prizes were a big basket with Whataburger for a year and multiple gift cards. This was strong on marketing and engagement, and it had a lot of measurable ROIs for this program. It was very successful. Buddha also did the bingo and the passports. This was something that they wanted to do that was very interactive. It was low cost and high engagement, and it did have a good spending ratio for their ROI on the program. And then we have some new ideas. When I was looking through other cities, I kind of Googled some things that could potentially be successful in Trophy Club. So there's a Dine Around Trophy Club, which is you earn points and prizes. Visits equal 10 points. You can enter into a larger drawing. Now, if we could compare this similar one to the gift bags that were given out at the prior, I think it was Chibolo. But this would be something similar that the EDC could fund. It's just marketing and promotions. You could do like a patio passport for all of the restaurants that have patios. You could do a family dining challenge. You could do date night Trophy Club, where you kind of pair a restaurant with a sweet treat or something that they can do and a restaurant as a date night. There's also the business bingo. We've seen that be a very successful one from the last couple of cities. Weekly prizes, grand prizes. This would affect, we could do restaurants and local businesses. We could do it during the holiday. We could do a restaurant week. We could do small business a small business month where just a certain amount of businesses and that are under a certain amount of employees or revenue base, and that would be the small month that are the businesses that we would focus on. There's also Spend Local. It's a reward point similar to the Dining Around Trophy Club. This would create connections between businesses, so it would be charities and school districts and youth sports, and it would create like a buy-in. So you could donate, you could purchase things in Trophy Club, and then the more points that you get, that's how much money gets donated to your choice of school or program or whatever. And then you have Trophy Club Nights, which would be like an event-based one. Promotional event, tourism, this would be businesses offering specials, entertainment, live music, like a family fun Fridays, or shop and stroll where it's alcohol and walking, and then holiday market nights, Thursday patio nights, something like that, where there's kids' activities and extensive hours. So there's a lot of different options that we can do. If we're looking at a loyalty program, we could also do the local loyalty currency, which is like a trophy bucks. I have seen that in other cities where instead of a gift card, you earn trophy bucks, and you can only redeem them at local businesses around town, and they expire after a certain period. It kind of mimics what Seguin did, but it's a little bit more stronger branding for Trophy Club. You could do restaurant week, seasonal receipt lottery, and slow day activation campaigns. Now, I did see this one as a benefit as well. If we did a survey with businesses and said, okay, what does your slow days look like? Is it a Tuesday, Thursday? Is it a Wednesday? And then we gear our initiative around those days that the business is slow, so we can generate more revenue on their slow days. I did want to give you this option. This is a company that reached out to Trophy Club. It's called Yifty Community Cards. This is a custom branded digital gift card. It's usable at any local businesses. You can redeem it like a tap to pay type of thing. They were very successful in Frisco. This is a way to invest in the community without a lot of overhead. And so what we would do is similar to what Frisco did. So the program presents as an economic solution. They wanted to provide money towards a specific district that they had. And so what they did was they, in November, they did a pilot program for this specific district. They gave $100,000, which was on a BOGO gift card. So if you bought $50 worth of the gift card, you got a $50 gift card. And so until that money was ran out, you were able to purchase the buy one, get one for that business. It was so successful that they added another $250,000 into this program. And then after a couple of months or so, they've actually gone up to about $500,000. They're almost at $1 million in this program itself. It's been very successful. And I can see this one as a success story for Trophy Club if this is something that we wanted to do. It's not a lot of admin time. You go through the company. EDC provides the money for the gift cards, and then we could do a BOGO. We could do a buy one, get one, or we could do a buy one, get one half off. And then there would be no specific time frame for you to use your gift card unless you wanted to put the time frame on. I also asked them several questions about, can we only have this program go to specific businesses? And yes, we can. If we wanted to focus on businesses that might be struggling in Trophy Club, we could do that. It would have to be presented that way in a marketing campaign, a specific way without saying that out loud. But it could be very successful. So with all of that information, I'm gonna turn it to you and y'all can discuss. We can go back and forth. I wanna hear your ideas. Just remember, if you wanna move this forward, I suggest that we put some things in place before we move it to council. We might wanna discuss it with them first, but we're definitely going to have a policy around it, similar to the Thrive. We're going to have a contract with whoever is helping us and all of that. So with that, I will turn it over to you.
for me, the goal, reason I even brought it up initially, is to bring more tax dollars in, correct? Keep the money local.
Right.
I'm a big fan of keeping things simple. I mean, you know, if you have to get out a spreadsheet or a matrix to figure something out, I think we will, you know, participation will suffer. By the way, you did a great job in researching this, thank you. But the thing that struck me was Colleyville. You know, I read about it in the community impact, and I
Yeah.
said, that's a great idea, you know? You know, how could we integrate that into our day-to-day and keep the money local? You know, if you think about it, residents here, I mean, when they go out to eat, I know when my wife and I go, we're discussing, you know, where do we go, right? Do we stay, and we don't think, do we stay here, do we go to South Lake or whatever? We say, hey, what's in our best interest? Well, I don't want to deal with, you know, I don't want to deal with town center's traffic, right?
Right.
So, yeah, we may come over here and go to Vinnie's or, you know, whatever, go to Christina's, and, you know, this would just be another incentive, at least that was my perspective on it, another incentive for us to stay local.
Okay.
Right? Hey, we'll go to Christina's and we get 10% back, you know? That's pretty cool. So that's the comment that I have about the program.
Okay.
I'd have to dig more into the YIFTI. Again, it looks like it's very involved. But if they're willing to put up some money, that's great too, you know?
Well, so YIFTI is just a third party. They accept they are the platform for
Right.
the gift cards, and the percentage of money that they get is strictly on when you purchase the gift card, you have a 1%
Okay.
charge, and that would go to YIFTI. So they don't put any money in, they're just simply a,
And EDC pays the 1%?
so no, that would be customer based. Now, what we would do, what EDC would do is they would front the money for the BOGO. So if we wanted to do a buy one, get one, or a buy one, get one half off, that half off or that other gift card, that money would be pulled together and go until all of the gift cards are complete. So the customer would have to put money in. We don't directly pay YIFTI, but we do put the money in for the additional dollars that would go with the buy one, get one. It's similar to what Colleyville does, but it's not a buy one, get one for them. They just simply do a gift card.
And the Colleyville model, that $35 gift card, you know, I think my memory serves me correctly, I think that it happened during like the holidays.
Yes,
And that would only be exercised, we would only be subject to that $35 if in fact it was spent, I presume.
right. So with their program, it is, the resident would go to the business would give them the $35 gift card, and then they would submit a reimbursement to the town, and the town would pay the business.
The town or EDC?
The EDC.
Okay.
Yes, the EDC. So that's similar to, that's their makeup with how they created their program.
I still like that model.
They also,
And that's some of the differences between the way it's administratively handled, right? A lot of these places have EDC offices, so they have employees that do nothing but EDC all day long for it. And that's why I think we're looking for options that are less administratively difficult, because if you can imagine, right, let's say Tamara's office receives 100 of these requests in a day, you know, processing them is a little bit different for the scale of Trophy Club than it would be for an office that has 3 or 4 EDC people, right, and are kind of handling those requests when they come in. So that each one kind of has their little nuances to it as far as kind of how it's handled, and just want to make sure that we have something that we're not going to be so significantly burdened by, right, that we end up having to be like, this isn't working for us, you know, on the way that we're handling it.
So is Open Rewards and YIFTI, are they kind of the same burden to administration,
so
like those?
I think Open Rewards is similar to YIFTI.
Okay.
It's not a lot of admin time. It is a percentage back that they get, and that's the percentage that is sent to the EDC to reimburse. So it's more of a reimbursement type basis on a whole scale than just a a one-off business giving a reimbursement.
And that's all happening through an app, I assume? that-
Yes.
So it's all
The Open
controlled within
Rewards is
Open
an app,
Rewards.
and the Yifty is an app as well.
So really, I mean, besides just reimbursing whatever percentage, you don't have any, but the administration doesn't have that much involvement in that?
No. Open Rewards would give a little bit less back unless it was a large purchase, because we could go up to a 10%. The gift card is probably the bigger bang for your buck. But, I mean, there's similar admin work for both of them.
And
I'd hate to have the admin load drive our decision.
Sure.
Right? You know, because we want to we want to keep the money local.
Well, and I think that's why what we're, you know, at the end of the day, I think we will work on our side to try to figure out what the right way to administer that program is, right? Some of them will be easier to do that, some of them will be harder to do that, on that, and some of them, it might just be, hey, we have to get some additional resources to help kind of administer the back end of this, to help kind of make sure that it doesn't fall through. So just realize it can be done no matter what format we do, there's just differences of how it's handled.
It's a cost.
Correct, exactly what the cost is with all that, so.
Did any of these programs, any of the towns give any feedback with regard to what the utilization was and how much additional dollars were brought in?
No, it was just more of like a, that's why I said success signal.
Gotcha.
That's what was provided as their, similar to the receipts. We have to have a mechanism that shows us that this program is being utilized the way that we created it to be utilized. If it doesn't, then it's not successful. All of these have been successful, the ones that I've showed you. So their model, the way that they sent it out in their program to the residents, it has all been successful. Whether it was a lot of work to do it or we can mimic the same program, I can definitely do more research on that if that's something that you want to do. But just remember, we're going to need to discuss this with council, and that's going to be our biggest hurdle right now. With another initiative outside of the Thrive business and then the small area plan that we're doing.
So normally I sit here and think my most relevant experience in this board is that I like to go to restaurants and shop. And today, I feel like I have some relevant experience because I create and run loyalty programs.
Oh, good.
And so I'd love to dig in on some of this with you.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
Okay.
But I also know from my experience that some of these programs may look like a great success, but those that are really sophisticated at measuring things like attribution and true ROI might not think so. And so there's some devil in the details and something. I'm skeptical of the open rewards. But I'd like to dig into it. I've never heard of them. But conceptually, there's a way to structure something like this that done right, I think could be more impactful than, say, Thrive. As I've been digging into Thrive, as we've been on this for a while now, a lot of the proposals I look at, I'm like, I'm not sure that's really going to generate a ton
Right.
but this done right could, but also done wrong, you may not realize that you just, gave away $100,000 or whatever it is.
Right. And we can angle it that way if we want to discuss that with council. It's a alternative to Thrive.
I'm not necessarily suggesting that it's Thrive, I'm just
Okay.
saying, there is promise here.
Right.
I'm just not sure which one. I don't know that today I'd be ready to say to council exactly which one of these we want to move forward. But,
Right.
so I'm not sure what we can move forward today, except for, to me, the idea is that we'd like to dig in even more on these types of options that are out there, and that conceptually there's promise in something like this.
I think this evening I would like your feedback on whether you would like me to do more research on the open rewards and the EFD. If so, then I will, and then we
Yeah,
will
so
try to work on
So
getting
you like
something.
those primarily over some of the others because of the administrative burden?
So the other ones are more of an engagement. If you're willing to put forth the time and the effort to do a bingo or put together what you believe would be a great evening out for families or or Golden Bucks, or if you want to do outreach to
Right.
other high schools so that we can donate money, those are other things that we would have to discuss. It would be a longer program.
Right, so
It
there's
would be
like
a
three,
lot more
maybe
work.
there's like three types in this, maybe I have this wrong. One's the engagement type, which
Right.
my eyes aren't very good.
Yeah,
but
we have like passports, the
Yeah,
local
the-
bingo.
those that were more like event
Right,
and then you had the open rewards and the Yifty.
yes.
And then the other one that maybe is the third category, which again, I can't read very well from
Would
this
be
far,
more
was
of a
the Collie-
prize-based.
The Colleyville one.
Oh, yes.
And I think
Is.
I need to learn more about it, but my first gut feel when I was hearing y'all talk about it was, maybe I have it wrong how it's structured, but it feels like it could be really open to being gamed and abused, but maybe I didn't quite understand how it worked, but it sounded like someone could go in and basically game the system pretty easily.
So, of course, there would have to be parameters around it. Similar to what we do, everything has to be as ethical as possible during any of these programs.
but
So we would have to tick and tie the gift card number to the.
Right,
the
but fundamentally,
purchase.
how does it work? You walk into
So you would go into, the pet bar.
Right.
I bring my dog into the pet bar. I want a $35 gift card so that I can use it at a later date.
Right.
They're like, great, and they give you a gift card number, and that receipt from that gift card is then reimbursed by the EDC. So it's sent into the EDC to be reimbursed as a $35 gift card.
Yeah, that could easily be gamed, but okay.
They-
And that's administrative burden,
And
okay, but to me,
it's-
that's the third category. You have
Yeah.
these ones where platforms kind of run it for you, and like Yifty and Open Rewards, the Colleyville model, which is, definitely feels like a locally run gift card program.
And you wouldn't have to actually do the same program that they do.
Right, but that type of a program.
If we
yeah.
wanted to go directly
But
to
you
the
don't have
business,
like
we
a,
could.
but you don't have a platform to participate in, or a vendor that's just gonna run it for you,
The-
right?
Yeah, the platforms would be the Open Rewards or the Yifty. Those are the programs, or the platforms we would be able to utilize to provide these services to the residents. So the Open Rewards would be the cashback, the gift cards would be Yifty, so.
On Colleyville, can we do it, like if we were going to do something like a bingo card, can we put specific businesses on the bingo card?
Yes,
Because I'm thinking somebody goes to Tom Thumb once a day, every day, then there are 5, we haven't gained any exposure.
and how the bingo works is more like you go to these stores, you purchase something, you bring the receipt from the store, and it gets checked off by somebody at Town Hall. So that's how the bingo would work.
Okay.
So you just bring your receipts in to the stores that you do, that you go to, and then they get reimbursed.
Okay.
That's how some of those bingos were. Now, the bingo passport was a little bit different. It was more of like a prize entry. With the Buddha one, it was more like a prize entry. So instead of like a reimbursement, it was more of like you get these prize points, and then you get a gift basket type of thing. So it is an engagement. It is a different type. It's a reimbursement, or it's a gift bag, or it's like a lottery for the like Whataburger one, where you could get like a year's supply of Whataburger. Like, it would be something similar to that. It's just what ideas do you have that we would like to move forward? And if we do move forward and we have a game plan, the next step would be to go to council to discuss this with them.
I think from my perspective, I'd really like to have, if I were designing this, right, I would prefer to have a restaurant-based, okay, program that I could go to Yifty or to Open Rewards and say, this is what I want to accomplish. Figure this out for me and let me know how much you're going to charge me to do this, right?
I don't think they're gonna do that, though. They're gonna wanna plug you right into what they already have in place.
It's your
And that,
opinion. It's your opinion. I would like to, at least if we decide to move forward with this, I'd like to have that, I'd like somebody to have that discussion
Sure.
with them to find out what their response is, you know? Again, that's just my opinion.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that we would like to move forward with looking at three options. The Colleyville model of options, and then we have the cash back or the percentage back, whatever that looks like on an app, option. And then the other one would be more of like a gift card, like Yifty, something like that. Is that what I'm hearing, or do we want to get rid of that?
I don't like the gift card, because I think you can game that real easy. And,
Well, Colleyville's a gift card, so which one do you,
well, again, I like Colleyville because it's 10% back, and I think that that's going to wave the needle for people,
Colleyville is either
Is the
business
bingo
bingo
card.
or a gift card.
but it's 10%, right?
The 10% cash back
That
was
was Keller.
Keller.
Oh, that was Keller.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
that's the Open Rewards app.
Okay. Well, again, I agree. I don't want a bingo card where people could game it easily, because that would just defeat the purpose. I don't know, I have to think about option 3.
The IFTY, unless I'm looking at it simplistic, is just you spend $50 and then you get a $50 gift card to spend back at that same restaurant? Is that?
So
Or-
it's a resident would go into the app, they would pick the store, they would say that they would want to purchase a $50 gift card. They buy the gift card and they get an extra $50 gift card for free
For that restaurant?
for that restaurant, yes.
So they
But pay
are going to
1%.
go to the,
Yeah, so they would pay $50 and get 100,
But they pay $50 plus 1%.
plus the 1%, yes, yes.
And so the restaurant would get $100.
Yes.
50 would come from the city, and then the other 50 would come from the customer, but it gets reinvested back into that same
Yes.
restaurant.
And it doesn't matter who purchases the gift cards. It could be somebody from Ohio who's coming to Trophy Club. The money stays in Trophy Club.
And then like Gifty goes to every town, restaurant or whatever to get them to sign up to do this.
Yes, we
any-
would tell them kind of which restaurants or
Or any
businesses.
business, for that
Yes.
matter,
Any
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
But they have to go to that business to get them to sign up.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. It would be.
But I don't think Yifty does that part. Like,
It would be us coordinating.
correct, yeah, we would
Okay.
coordinate
That.
with businesses, correct.
Yeah,
So in effect,
So the admin part would be quite a bit
Pretty-
higher.
Would be the beginning part of, it depends on how you want to set it up, right? You could do this very tailored to say, we only want this one shopping center to be the beneficiaries of this program, or it could be, we want it to be literally every business in Trophy Club. If it's that version of it, then that's a lot more, right? If it's more of a tailored to, hey, we just want only restaurants, or this one shopping area, because we want this one shopping area to benefit from that, then that would be a lot easier to administer that part of it.
but I think to position it for the council, I think it's got to be streamlined, get my opinion. I got the message. I think it's got to be streamlined for a specific, either specific business type. But deliverable to the client, to use your example, I go in, I spend $50.50, and I'm getting $100 worth of product, right? So, I mean, that to me is, I think that's a benefit to our residents or whoever buys the gift cards, and it's a benefit to the business and a benefit to the town. I don't really see a downside. Does
Well, I
anybody
mean,
see a downside to that?
If you were using your money, the downside is if they do the exact behavior they were gonna do anyway, and the town just paid $50 for someone to go there, that's what I'm talking about, is like the-
Gotcha. Yeah,
again, the Tom Thumb. If you're spending $100 at Tom Thumb, will you buy the gift card and?
I'm not saying you can't structure these in a way that work, and I'd love to be a part of a discussion to figure out how to structure that. Like, one of the ways you can do that is you do something on a short-term basis, and then the strategy is that you're hoping to benefit, like there's a tail of benefit after the
Yes.
promotion's over. I probably shouldn't say the names of programs I worked on, but a really large airline that's local, I ran all of their partnerships for a long time, and there's a dining program that's associated with that very massive loyalty program. And honestly, most of the restaurants that participate are the ones that aren't sophisticated enough to know that they're wasting their money. And so I'm just saying, there's a right way to structure these and there's a wrong way.
Right.
And I just want to be a good steward of the town's or the EDC's money, and I think we can. I'd love to be in a conversation with these guys and be like, hey, show me how this is smart for the EDC to, in this case, fund $50, and convince me that, yeah, on that one visit, that restaurant got a visit and the town got, a few bucks in sales tax, but convince me that they're gonna come back over and over and over after the promotion's over. That's the only way that $50 pays off in that scenario.
Yeah, Tamara and I have talked about the idea that if not done correctly, that program can make your most popular and most successful businesses only more successful and more popular,
Yes.
and leave behind the ones that you might have wanted to be helping most, right,
Well,
on that part. So you have to be really careful.
When you look at the restaurants that participate in these sorts of programs, so there's In Kind. Have y'all tried In Kind? It's another program that's out there. HG Supply did participate, then they got smart. They stopped because they were spending a lot of money for the exact business they were going to get anyway. But if you go look at, these dining programs that big airline loyalty programs have, it's all the restaurants that are struggling. Like the ones that don't have a marketing department to do the math and say, okay, this is not my best use of marketing dollars. So again, I don't want to sound like there's no way these work. There is a way to structure these that would work. I'm pretty intrigued and interested, and would love to push forward to the council that, hey, we're going to go dig in deeper on, at least I'd love to be a part of digging in deeper on the open rewards and what was the other one, YIFTY? And perhaps within their existing platforms, we can structure something in a way that makes sense for us.
Right.
But the example we just gave on the $50, that one only makes sense if there's a long tail of business that comes after we're spending the $50,
Right.
right?
Yes.
It takes a lot of visits at, what percent of sales tax do we get?
Well, we get two.
Yeah, it takes a lot of visits to recoup $50 at 2%.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put this on the next agenda and we'll dive a little bit deeper into the two programs, the Open Rewards and the YIFTY.
Well, that's just my perspective
okay.
on those two. If anybody else wanted to talk about one of the other
I
ones?
like the simple bingo card because we can make them go to specific areas, specific businesses with that.
Okay.
There's got to be a way to keep theft down a little bit on those, I would think.
Okay. So I'll also bring that one
Thank you.
back. Is there any other?
Could we get somebody from either YIFTY or Open Rewards to come in and pitch it to us?
Yeah, I can see, I can reach out to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have them come in and do a Q&A with them and, hear their pitch.
Okay. I'm not sure, we'll have to just discuss the bingo one. We'll have to discuss a program around that one, but I'll reach out to Open Rewards and YIFTY to see if they can both come in.
Well, and with both of those, one of the other things that creates that incrementality of where the investment makes sense is if we're not just talking to Trophy Club residents, which we do want them to spend in town, but we also want to draw people in from outside of Trophy Club. And that's where I'm a little more optimistic that those programs can do that, than something that's like a community-based thing where how are we going to get the word out to people that live in Southlake and Roanoke and everywhere else to come in and play the game that we're creating. So if they're participating in Open Rewards more broadly, and we can take advantage of the fact that they have an engaged member base that would say, I'll be motivated to go to Trophy Club because I'm participating in Open Rewards, then that could create the ROI that you're looking for.
Okay. Perfect.
Anything else on this topic? Can we move on?
All right, we'll move on.
Okay. It is 6:39, and we are convening into executive session pursuant to the following designated sections of the Texas Government Code annotated, Chapter 551, Texas Open Meetings Act. The Economic Development Corporation will recess into executive session to discuss the following. A, Section 551.087, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations. 1, discuss Thrive Business Grant applications, and 2, discuss the Grove at TC development negotiations.
Perfect.
Oh,
There you go.
Lights on, okay. It is 8:08 PM. We are reconvening into regular session. We are considering approval of submitted grant applications for the approved amounts under the Thrive Business Grant. I call for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the Thrive Business Grant applications for Chastity Murphy State Farm in the amount of $20,000, Conquer Fitness in the amount of $6,225, Fresh and Fluffy Pet Bar in the amount of $19,815, and Lancy Children's Dentistry in the amount of $16,323.44. And authorize the town manager to negotiate and the EDC president and town manager to execute performance agreements with each applicant and recommend approval of same to the town council.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All in favor? Motion passes. We are adjourned at 8:09.